Okay, so we're talking about joins in SQL, and we're working with our data sets of creating demo, which I've already explained that is just a sample example that we're dealing with. Then you're going to use the database. Now we're talking about inner join, which is basically combining two tables together, or more tables actually. So let me write intersection. Then I created table course information because we want to deal with student information and course information. I want to know which courses are being studied by particular students and which courses are not being studied by some particular students. And like I said earlier, that intersection, that inner join basically means in an intersection, and it's basically more like bringing out the students that are participating in two particular details. For example, let's say let me give another example of students participating in sporting activities. Some set of students are playing golf, some set of students are playing football, but some set of students are playing both golf and football. So what we want to do within inner join is to bring out the students that are playing both golf and football. So that's just another way we can look at it. Then I created table course informations because you're going to be using two tables obviously. Then course information, course ID is the integer, course name is the varchar. Then student information table as well. Then I inserted values into the student table. That's why I wrote insert into student value. Then also to the course information table. Then I selected all the details from the course information table. So which are the four values we inserted here, which are the mathematics, physics, algebra, and calculus. Then I made mention of the inner join, and then we click on the inner join. So we can see that there are only 3 students studying the course courses that are in the course ID, which are John, Mary, and David. So as you can see, look at the ID 101 and 103. Look at the course ID information 101, 103, 102, and 104. Because there's nobody studying physics in the student table, obviously it's not going to bring it out, and there's nobody studying calculus, it's not going to bring it out. So that is one definition. That is a scenario of an inner join. Should we do one more example? Let me do another example of an inner join. Okay, let me remove this part so it won't get confusing. Another example of an inner join. Some set of students are playing football, and some set of students are playing cricket. So create table football. Name underscore ID integer, like the students people the name of students that are playing football. Okay, the student's name. Okay, yeah, student's name underscore, okay, no, football underscore ID actually. Let's put it that way, or let's just write ID actually. That works. ID integer, student's name, yeah, varchar 45. Then we'll do for cricket as well. Cricket underscore ID, an integer, student's name, which is a virtual 45. Then ID, which is an integer. This ID is basically the football ID. Okubian. Then inserting our values, insert into football values. So one student's name, Tayo. Okay, yeah. Then you can even use the same name. Actually, I can use the same name as I did here to avoid wasting time. So okay, yeah. Then insert into cricket values. Then 101 Steven. So football ID of 7. So 102. Okay, 103 doesn't really matter actually. 103 Mary, football ID of 2, and 105 David, football ID of 3. Okay. So on 106 okay, football ID of 1. Yeah, then we'll stop here. So as you can see, the students that have the same ID relating to this are Stan, Mary, and David. That means Stan, Mary, and David are both playing football and cricket intersection. So we run this as well. Then inner join. So basically used to look for the number of the people that are actually participating in both scenarios. For example, people with first class and as a job, people who are both doing a remote job and also a 9 to 5 workers. Those are the practical scenarios where we can use an inner join. So we take some observations of students who are working class workers, give them an ID, making it a primary key, and also people who are a remote worker, give them an ID, and try to check if you can find people who are actually working on both. So yeah, that is basically a basic scenario of an inner join. So select start from football inner join inner join cricket using ID. Then when you run this code, so as you can see, Mary, David, and John. So have you understood the practical concept of inner join as well as the code of inner join?
Yes, yes, yes. I get it now. Thank you very much.
Okay. Good. So left join itself
Yes, yes, yes.
allows
I get
us
it now.
to
Thank you very much.
it brings out all the details in the first table, and then a fragment, or let me say a matching column in the second table. How will I put it? Okay, I don't have a whiteboard that I can use to demonstrate, but anyhow, let's continue. So to do that, we just say select star from customer. Oh, sorry. Which one should we work on? Should we work on students? Okay, let's work on football and cricket. Okay, I think that one is more realistic. Football left join. It's supposed to be left join cricket using ID. So it's going to bring out all the tables on football and only a matching row of cricket. So you can see, since there are only 3 observations of football, so those are the 3 observations it's going to bring, and the matching rows of cricket. So let's do it the reverse. Let's say cricket inner join football. Left join, sorry. So you can see it's brought out all the details of cricket, like all the information related to cricket. Stephen, Mary, David, and Stan. Stephen, Mary, David, and Stan. But only the matching rules of football. So which is where is it again? David, John, Mary, and David. As you can see, it's indicated in all here, indicating that Stephen is not a football player. So I believe you can imagine what a right join does itself. Right join brings out all the information about the right instead of left. So let me do it this way. So from instead of inner join, I'm going to use right join. As you can, and you will see that we're going to get the same value as we got here. So it's just like opposite. Left is opposite of right. So yeah, exactly, we got the same value. So I don't really see any need to use both of them. You can use one in place of another. You can try to use left join instead of right join. You can try to right join instead of left join. But like the full concept of inner join, left join, and right join has been explained. Now to me is the full or outer join. Now full or outer join combines the 2 tables together. So instead of this, I'm going to write this full join cricket. So okay, so that is it basically. Now we're talking about aggregate function. Actually, I've introduced it before yesterday. Introduced aggregate function yesterday in SQL. I want to open the course outline again. So in aggregate function, we are basically talking about a mathematical function, the sum, count, average, minimum and maximum function. So let's go back to our data set that we're using yesterday. Um, so I'm going to call the data set in database, sorry. Then I'm going to show us the table we are going to be using. It's the same one I sent to us on WhatsApp. Basically, I just want to follow the standard scenario. Now, starting with the average function. Yeah, so talking about the sum, minimum, count, and yeah, maximum. So average function basically returns the average value of particular response. So select, I want select gender, then average average age from so the average age for male is 49.17, and the average age for female is 49.44. So I want to go back to the okay, basically let me just I've opened so many tab. I'm even trying to recover. Okay, yeah, this is it. So we can decide to work on average blood pressure based on people with heart diseases, heart related disease. So we want to count the number of we want to count the number of what can we work on? You can actually do a count function because Okay, like we cannot count that way, but we can do a count function basically. But we cannot do you cannot count, for example, you cannot count the number of stress level based on. You can actually do it. Let's continue. Count the number of sleepness. Let's see. It's not possible. You cannot count a continuous distribution. But let me do something. Count the number of patients with heart disease. Select okay, select heart disease status. But let's start with this gender. Heart disease status counts go by gender. Okay. So okay, yeah, actually group by gender and add disease status. Then I need okay now yeah, this is it. Okay, yeah, so for people who are for the male patients who do not have heart disease, there are 4,007. The female who do not have heart disease are 3,925. The females who have an heart disease are 1,025. The male who has an heart disease are 965. Um, hmm, I want to include an alias name, so I don't want to be saying these counts blah blah blah. It makes it unprofessional. So minimum value. Do you have any question regarding the count function and the average function so far before we move to the minimum and maximum value?
As of now, no.
Okay.
As of now, no.
Now it's minimum value. Now let me see if I can pick up a particular analysis to work on. Okay, yeah. Select gender. No, select. Should I select the gender? Okay, yeah, gender. Minimum age from group by gender. No, that's the wrong code. So the minimum age for the male and female are both 18 years of age. So the maximum value. So instead of minimum, just change it to maximum. Okay, so we've talked about the aggregate function and the joint function. So in our next class, we're talking about subqueries in SQL and the data definition languages in SQL. You have data manipulation languages, which we've talked about is basically it's under both of the two of them are categorized under SQL statements. Data definition language, which is create, drop, alter, rename, and truncate. I've actually worked on the 4 out of 5 of this data definition language today, but I didn't really talk about it. I dropped a table. That's when I deleted the table. I altered the table. I truncated the table. I removed all the responses. Data manipulation languages and data control language. These data control languages, we will not be talking about it because it is more like an advanced SQL, which we don't need for now. Then we talk about subqueries, which is basically I'm writing a query inside a query. So, and if you notice, we have basically started doing some analysis on this SQL because we basically talked about some insights. As you can see, we've already know the minimum gender, maximum gender, number of people with heart disease in both male and female category. We also talked about the number of patients with heart diseases, the average age for both male and female. We've talked about the minimum and maximum. I can go ahead to go further, so but I don't want to because of time has elapsed. So if you have a time on your own, you can actually go further, and if you have there are some class works on the Google Classroom as well. You can actually go through them to solve it and submit them so I can see them, like submit them on the classroom, I mean, so I can see them and group them. So since you don't have any question, I guess this is where we draw the curtain of today's class. Or is there anything you feel I should know, or any question I feel I need to ask or anything?
When I start, let me start. Let me work on this one you have taught me
Okay.
to make you. Then the other one I was practicing let me before. Start.
Okay
Let me
then.
just work on this if I have any question, you see it on your WhatsApp. Then the other one I
Okay
was
then, no
practicing
problem.
before. That you
So
just
another
put
thing
me
I
through.
want
So
you to
if I have
do
any
is to
question, you
create
see it on
a
your WhatsApp
Kaggle
for this. I will
account.
just send it
I
to
will
you.
send the
Just
website
that
link
I'm
to
working on
use
it.
on your WhatsApp so you can create the account. Is for getting data sets so you can get data sets to practice on and work on by yourself. So I will also encourage you to open a LinkedIn account. So all these classworks and everything, you can start dropping it on your social media to start publicizing
Okay.
yourself that okay, I am an upcoming analyst, something like that. Then start practicing on data like I said, so you can start building your own portfolio so clients can reach out to you as well.
Okay.
So thank you very much
Thank you.
and have a wonderful day. See you this Thursday.
All right. Thank you. All right.